Hey everybody, today on Political Access we're going to do a hypothetical 2024 matchup between Mary Peltola and Nikki Haley. Peltola, the U.S. rep from Alaska, who was able to beat Sarah Palin, and of course Nikki Haley, former governor of South Carolina. Now this is a difficult matchup. Peltola, she's kind of a hero amongst the Democrats. She was able to win in a moderately red state. She's kind of branded herself as electable, and I think on the environment that does appear to be the case, and I have not looked in depth on her record, but on a glance, it seemed like she was more partisan than I had thought, and there was less crossover voting than I would have expected. So it's very hard to say how these two would run a national campaign. Peltola would have to get her name recognition up a lot higher. Haley is already much more well known. Haley is fairly establishment. She's going to be distrusted by a lot of the Trump base. Peltola, I'm sure, would be highly embraced by the establishment. I don't know how much she's going to want to shake things up. My guess is not that much, but maybe she's electable. Let's see how we do here. Let's start in Alaska. That would be Peltola's home state. This is a tough call. I thought about it for a while. On a presidential level, the state is redder than it would be for other offices. I think Peltola would make it very competitive. In the end, I do have Haley winning it by a tilt margin. Hawaii, safe for Peltola. Back up to the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, California, safe for Peltola. Nevada is going to be leans for Peltola. Idaho and Utah, safe for Haley. Arizona, they like the establishment more there. It's trended away from the Republicans, but I think Nikki Haley would win it narrowly by a tilt margin. Montana, Wyoming, safe for Haley. Colorado, just under 10 points, likely for Peltola. New Mexico, 5.5 to 6.5 points, likely for Peltola. Back up to North and South Dakota, safe for Haley. Nebraska at large, safe for Haley. The 2nd District, that's going to go leans for Peltola. Kansas, safe for Haley. Oklahoma, safe for Haley. Down to Texas, that's going to be over 5 points, likely for Haley. Minnesota is going to be over 5 points, likely for Peltola. Iowa is going to be likely for Haley. Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, safe for Haley. Now we go to Wisconsin. This is one that I went back and forth on. It's pretty much a coin flip. I think some of the Trump voters are not going to want to come out for Haley, but I think some of the progressive voters, they're not really going to want to come out for Peltola. So I think it all evens out. Depends on the national environment. I've settled on a tilt for Haley, but that could go either way. Illinois, safe for Peltola. Let's go to Michigan. That one would be close, but I settled on probably about a 2 to 3 point margin for Peltola. Indiana, safe for Haley. Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, safe for Haley. Let's go down to Florida. This state, I think, is trended away from the Democrats enough to where most Republicans are going to be able to win it. I think Haley would win it. I think it would be about 5 to 6 points, and that is going to be likely for Haley. Let's go one state north to Georgia. This does border South Carolina. That's where Nikki Haley was governor. The proximity could help Nikki Haley very slightly. The Atlanta suburbs, some of those people might be willing to come back and vote for someone like Nikki Haley. So all things considered, I settled on a tilt for Haley. South Carolina, that's going to be pretty safe for Nikki Haley. Let's go to North Carolina. This is a tough call. I think it would probably just hit about 5.5 points at the most. So I do have it as likely for Nikki Haley. Let's go to Ohio. That'll be over 5 points, likely for Haley. West Virginia, safe for Haley. Let's jump all the way to the corner into Maine at large. That's going to be likely for Peltola. The 1st District is going to be safe for Peltola. The 2nd District, that's going to be probably 2 to 4 points, leans for Haley. They're not going to be big fans of Haley in that district, but I think they would go for her by a few points. Let's go to New Hampshire. That is going to be about 4 to 5 points, leans for Peltola. Now we've got the blue states: Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C., all safe for Peltola. Pennsylvania is the next state. That's one where I settled on a tilt for Peltola. And the last state is Virginia. That's going to be likely for Peltola. And that comes out to 272 for Nikki Haley, 266 for Mary Peltola. And this is extremely close. As I said, I think a lot of these states could go either way. The national environment, the running mate, that's all going to affect some of these margins. It's possible Alaska flips. I just quite didn't see it getting there. Wisconsin, that could easily go blue. Nevada could flip. Georgia could flip. There's a lot of different outcomes here. The Rust Belt, it's tough to say which of these candidates would actually get voters out there. I don't think they're going to be huge on Nikki Haley, but at the same time, I don't think a lot of those working class blue-collar voters are going to be huge on Mary Peltola. Certain economics, yes, But at this point, I don't think Peltola has much star power. She just got in there, so I think it's easy to think that if she won in Alaska, that she would just steamroll a lot of these other states. I don't think that's the case. I think nationally, Nikki Haley is more capable of running a campaign. She's already doing it now. Peltola might just be a great fit for Alaska. Time will tell. So there's a lot of different issues out there. We'll have to see what Peltola does on some other things. In addition to the environment, we've got guns, energy, crime, immigration, education. Nikki Haley was already governor. She was already UN ambassador. She has a decent track record under her belt. She has to address these issues today when she's running for office. But Peltola, she's much more under the radar. I don't think progressives would really be excited to come out for her at all. That's another thing that could ding her a little bit. Similar to Nikki Haley, the Trump base, there's going to be a little bit of a reduction there. So, as usual, it comes down to a lot of the same states and a lot of the same counties and the suburbs, and I think this is up for grabs. It's very speculative, though. Anybody can make a prediction a year and a half out, where only one of the candidates is running, and the other one got into office only recently. So this is what I settled on. Your map is probably going to be different. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree with this map, or did I completely miss something, and Peltola would completely wipe out Nikki Haley? Or would Nikki Haley be able to kick her way to the White House and win even more of these states? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.